It was 9.5 weeks ago now that I first stood here before all of you to tape what I thought at the time would be our very first and only video. Well, we all realized that what we believed to be a short-term shutdown has turned into a long-term shutdown. And we're all still navigating our way through these days. So I appreciate all the patience that you've all had as we've done our best to make sense out of all this and to accommodate and cooperate with everything that's being asked upon us by our Archbishop and the Governor. In the mail is a letter that I have sent to all registered parishioners regarding what Mass is going to look like when you return this weekend, the first weekend that we're able to have public Masses in over 2 months. I'm also aware that some of you may not receive this letter on time. I pray you do, but in case you don't. And so I'd like to go over the basic contents of that letter, just so you're all well prepared and we're all on the same page when we come back to church. So if I may begin with the list, and I'm just going to kind of run through these. So sit back, maybe grab some popcorn, because it's not going to be a short list. First and foremost, the Archbishop has made it very clear. If you are over the age of 65, if you have any pre-existing health condition, or for any reason you feel unsafe to be in church, you are encouraged to stay home and continue to make a spiritual communion with all your brothers and sisters in the faith. The Archbishop has granted all of the faithful of the Archdiocese of Detroit a dispensation from the obligation to attend Sunday Mass, and that'll run through Sunday, September 6th of 2020. So please, if you don't feel safe or you're concerned or overly worried about anything, please stay home, continue to pray for an end to the virus and a return to normalcy for all of us. When you do return to Mass, those of you that are coming back for Masses this weekend, you will be asked to wear a mask. I know some of you don't prefer to wear the mask. I know some of you find it uncomfortable. Unfortunately, everyone is being asked to wear a mask. Now, I don't have pew police to enforce this, so I'm asking you, your goodwill, your kind Christian charity, to do what everyone is being asked to do by wearing a mask in church. Our daily and weekend Mass schedules. Daily Mass is Monday through Saturday, 8:30 a.m., just like it's always been. For the weekend, our Mass schedule is the same, except for the 7 p.m. Sunday evening Mass. We are temporarily suspending that Mass because we need to wait and see how great the need is right now. We have a feeling that our attendance will be lower than normal, and so the need for 5 Masses won't be present for some time. So Saturday, 5 p.m., Sunday, 8 a.m., 10 a.m., and 12 noon. Also, confessions will continue like they always do on Saturdays at 4 p.m. Now, when you arrive in church, you're going to notice at every single door a sign on the door and a sign immediately when you enter into the church. The sign on the door is going to remind you about wearing the masks, about keeping good physical distancing. The sign when you enter into the church will say, sit in a blue pew, or a green pew, or a purple pew. We have 3 colors on our pews. These colors are rotated throughout the church. So when you come to a particular Mass, let's just say the 8 a.m. Mass, you will be instructed to sit only in the blue pews. The blue tape is on the end of each of the pews, easily seen when you walk up to the pew. This will allow for appropriate physical distancing at every Mass, and it'll also allow us to rotate the pews so we won't have to clean them all until after the 12 noon or after the 5 p.m. on Saturday. So please comply with what you see when you enter the church and keep your eye open for the signs clearly indicating which color pew you are to sit in for the particular Mass that you attend. This also happens for our daily Mass as well. Now, because our church is very large, we're blessed to have a good amount of seats available for people. 25% is the capacity that the Archbishop has allowed to take place in every church building. Our church seats 1,600 people. 25% of that is 400. When we stagger the pews to every third, that brings our number down to roughly about 250. We are very confident that we will have plenty of seats for everybody, for every Mass they attend. If we have the good fortune of there being too many people, we will address that as it occurs. But we do not feel that that'll be an issue, mostly because we know what our attendance is from the Mass counts that we've done periodically throughout the year. When it comes to the collection, offertory, and sign of peace, there will be a collection still. We need your support and your generosity to our parish, and that'll be done with different kinds of baskets. The ushers will have the baskets with the very long arms on them, so that'll provide for the distancing between you and them. And because you're sitting in every third pew, they'll have plenty of space to move in between all of you. We're encouraging people, if you're not able to make it to Mass, to still mail in your envelope, drop it off at the parish office, or sign up for online giving through our parish website, cabriniparish.org. That's really the best way, the most cost-effective way for you and for us to receive your kind and generous contributions. There'll be no offertory procession with the gifts. All the gifts will be placed on the altar ahead of time. And there'll be no sign of peace still. We're continuing to suspend the sign of peace. Now, when it comes time for communion, for very obvious reasons, we're asking everybody to only receive communion on the hand. It's very important that we do reception on the hand because we all know that the transmission of this virus happens primarily through what comes out of our mouth. And so if a hand is touching a mouth, well, now we run the risk of passing on the virus. So I know for some of you, you prefer to receive on the tongue. Understandable. But we're asking you to cooperate with us, once more out of common Christian charity, to assist us in keeping everybody who attends church on that given day to be safe. If you're not able to receive communion in the hand, you will be instructed to go to a very specific Eucharistic minister over by the baptismal font, and that'll occur after they bring Mass to the folks who are in the handicapped pews. There are no exceptions to this, and it will be strictly enforced. When you do receive communion in the hand, we ask that you remember how Sister taught you. One hand on top of the other, and a very flat surface. That allows the Eucharistic minister to safely place the host on your hand without having to touch your hand. This is not helpful. This is not helpful. This is not helpful. One hand on top of the other, nice and flat, just like we all learned in second grade as we were being formed in the faith. There will be no precious blood distributed for obvious reasons for the time being, and all of our holy water fonts are still empty when you enter into the church. During Mass, because you're all wearing masks, we are going to have less congregational singing. There'll still be music. You'll still hear from a cantor and a smaller amount of people in the choir, but there'll be less singing from the congregation. One, out of accommodation for the masks, and two, because we were told that the more you sing, the more droplets come out of our mouth. Please note that the hymnals in the pews will not be removed, so they're still present there for you to be able to read along for Scripture during Mass, or if you do want to sing along or read along during one of the hymns. So those will not be cleaned in between the Masses. So if that's a concern for you, either bring gloves with you to Mass, refrain from using the books, or bring your own book that has the Scripture passages in it for that given Sunday. After Mass is over, we're asking people to make your way out of church in a timely manner. We're all used to staying behind and talking and visiting, and rightly so. But given the circumstances, we are asking that you make your way out in a timely manner. The priest will more than likely only be outside to visit with you. We won't be handshaking like we normally do, but we'll at least be in eye shot of each other to be able to do some communication and visiting. But we ask that you please do that outside of the church in a very timely manner. Many people have asked us about live streaming the Masses. We'd love to continue to do this, but we have found out that it is actually illegal to live stream music without a copyright license. Those are somewhat time consuming, and they do come with a cost attached. Also, our equipment is only our personal cell phones. So we don't really have the equipment, and we don't have the license that is required. If something in that regard can change in the future, we'll revisit this. But we encourage you to watch Mass for Shut-ins on Fox 2 News. Every Sunday does a Mass for Shut-ins with one of our Detroit local priests. The Catholic Network, EWTN, broadcasts a Mass every Sunday as well. I know it's not the same as being at Cabrini, and I appreciate that you've appreciated seeing us here with live stream Masses. We are trying to do everything we can, but we can't do everything. So I appreciate your understanding and your patience with all of that. Lastly, if you're unable to attend Mass for any of the reasons stated before, and you'd like communion brought to your home, please call the parish office to talk to Therese Tardif, our Christian Service Director, and she will be coordinating Eucharistic ministers to come to your home to bring you communion. Please be patient with this. We don't know how many people are going to be asking, so it may take us a while to get everything up and running if there's a great need. The parish office will be reopened starting June 1st as long as the stay home, stay safe order is lifted, which we all pray and hope is going to be the case. The hours for the office will be Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. and on Sunday from 9 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. The Adoration Chapel, because of cleaning purposes, trying to keep that as safe as possible for people coming and going, unfortunately will also remain closed until further notice. The church, however, is open during the office hours. You enter into the church through the main parish office entrance lobby, and you can come right into the church during the normal business hours. Lastly, the auction, our school auction, our annual school auction, which we've had to postpone, is now going to be a virtual auction. So you, from the comfort of your homes, you can bid on our items that are available and still very much support our school. We hope that many of you will go online and be a part of that. That's going to be June 15th through the 19th, and on the last day of the 19th will be the live auction, and that'll be done in real time. More information on this will be following soon. Our parish festival, as you know, we moved that as well. We're hoping that that is still going to be able to take place August 14th through the 16th, our new dates, but we just don't know still. So we're making plans as if we'll be able to do it, obviously with many, many changes to make it a smaller event, but we don't know for sure yet. One thing we do know for sure is that we will have the raffle, and we'll be sending the tickets out to you very soon. Lastly, it's only the church and the office that are reopened. There are still no activities, no groups, no clubs, nothing non-liturgical is taking place on the campus in any of our other buildings. Once we're able to safely do that, we will certainly let you know. So I know this is a long list, and once again, this is coming home to you in the mail. I hope you all already have it and you can click delete or not even open up this Facebook page. But for those of you that don't, we wanted to make sure you had everything you needed to know so that you can come to church this weekend, should you choose to do so, and know what all the safety precautions that we're taking will be. They're not perfect. We can't do everything. We're asking for your patience and your cooperation and using the very best dose of Christian charity that you can muster up. So we're walking. We're not running yet. This is a first step back to what we hope one day will soon be normalcy. So please take these steps with us as slowly as you can and as understandingly as you can. And we look forward to the day when we're not just walking, but we're running. We look forward to seeing you all back in church and praying along with you for those that are home. God bless you.